gonna tell me? What's up, losers? It's me, you boy. As many of you may know, the online multiplayer game Overwatch's 5-year anniversary is coming up on May 3rd, and that is super fucking bizarre, because I remember playing this game when it came out, and I was like, wee little lass. And recently, I just watched a compilation of all the cutscenes in the game, and I figured something out. Who was gonna tell me McCree is that fucking... Who the fuck was gonna tell me Jesse McCree is that hot? And for those of you who don't know, Overwatch is a 26-team-based multiplayer first-person shooter developed and published by Blizzard Entertainment. Described as a hero shooter, Overwatch assigns players into 2 teams of 6, with each player selecting from a large roster of characters, known as heroes with unique abilities. Here's the thing, when Overwatch came out, a bunch of my friends play it, and a bunch of my friends followed esports teams for it, or they just my friend has a Genji jacket he still wears. And I knew the game, I played it, I just never got into the lore or anything. And that's what pisses me off the most. Only recently did I watch all the cutscenes edited into one big movie. It's called the Overwatch movie. You can look it up. It's on YouTube. And what pisses me off the most is Jesse McCree, badass motherfucker. No one told me about him. Majority of my friends who played this game are dudes, so they would not have told me about this, which I can forgive them for. However, they memed him a lot, so I was like, I never got into the character, which pisses me off because my friends were like, oh yeah, this is a great character, he's like super like ironically funny, and I was like, okay, that sounds right up my alley, but I never did anything about it. And that's what brings me to my point. Who was gonna tell me? Who was gonna tell me that this man has the power of God? I got TikTok sent to me that were like edits of him. So like, here's a few. But I was like, why am I just now realizing this? 13-year-old me would have simped over him so fucking hard, and now I'm just like, why? And I didn't know the amount of trauma and heartache I could have gotten from this man. But I think a huge reason for that is that why I didn't like simp over him when I was 13 is because Overwatch is not a storytelling game. It has cutscenes to tell the background characters of people like Jesse McCree, or Hanzo and Genji, or Wilson, or Tracer, and it has the background stories to these characters. It rarely shows them, from what I've seen, them interacting other than when you're playing the gameplay. And I think that's a huge reason why the fandom died, is because people didn't play the game for the cutscenes like they would Undertale. They didn't play for the story, they played for the gameplay. Like Fortnite, like you haven't seen anyone simping over Fortnite characters, have you? Like, I think that's a huge part of the reason why Overwatch fandom completely died out, is because there was no reason to look at these characters and, like, quote unquote, fall in love with them, because they were just a part of this gameplay, and their story happened to be thrown in. I mean, even though they have an hour or 2 hours of cutscenes, and it's beautifully mastered, I think the fandom died because of that lack of interaction and that lack of fan service. Yeah, like Undertale has amazing battles in it where you're either a pacifist or you're not. I forgot the paths. The antonym to pacifist, but my point continues. That people didn't play Undertale for the gameplay. They played it for the story and choosing their own path. If you look up Jesse McCree fan art, not a lot comes up. And it's mostly just not Jesse, like, I keep calling him Jesse like I know him personally. I think that's why a huge reason why people didn't fall in love with the characters. It's because you saw only them in a snapshot of time. Like, you never find out how McCree lost his arm. You can only assume it's because of this battle. Ice Girl, what happened to her teammates? Did she ever go back to get them a burial? Stuff like that, and focus on their character rather than this team. I think having them interact to help each other more would have made the fandom way bigger than it was, and still, like, thrive at least, or survive, trying to survive, clinging to life. But the Overwatch fandom just passed away, and I'm pretty sure it's the lack of quote-unquote fan service they got, because they just gave the past of the characters. But that's not the point of this video, to discuss why Overwatch fandom died. No. We're here to discuss about this man right here. This beautiful, gorgeous man. And the reason why I find him so attractive, I don't know, it's probably the American aesthetic, I guess. Not because he's American, but the American aesthetic, like the cowboy thing. And I have watched westerns growing up. Like, I watched The Rifleman, a lot of things with John Wayne growing up. That was something I did every Saturday morning, was watch old westerns and cartoons. But those sounds, like the da-da-da, are, like, carved into my brain. I know what they're from, I know what they are. It's something I grew up with, and I loved old westerns. Like, I have a cowboy hat. I have, like, these old western boots. I was Jessie for Halloween one year from Toy Story. I mean, obviously she's not a real cowgirl, but she's still, like, someone I looked up to as a child. And westerns were a huge part of my childhood. And I love Jesse. Like, I keep calling him Jesse. His name's McCree. But I think this man is attractive, not only because he has the swagger of, he has the swagger of, like, Wild Bill, or like, not Johnny, because Johnny Cash was an old western, but he did country, and he's like the swagger of Johnny West. He is the swagger of Johnny Cash mixed with Wild Bill. Like, oh my god, the beard, the hat, it pulls everything together, and his belt, the badass motherfucker belt. Like, who else would put that in the game? Like, who else has the audacity to put that in the game and be like, yeah, that's our character? But I love that character. I love the way he just walks around. Like, if you saw those TikToks earlier, it was just like, and here's the meme that made me go on this whole tangent. And I think that's gonna be it for today, guys. It's a different kind of video, obviously. Like, I don't usually do quote-unquote commentaries. I don't know if this counts as a commentary. Just me commenting about my favorite video game character from this game that came out literally, like, 5 years ago. If you like McCree, or who's your favorite character, who do you fucking love from Overwatch? And I think we need to revive the fandom. Like, obviously things haven't gone over well the last year, and I think people are just revisiting the roots because they're bored. And I think Overwatch is a perfect one for people who are my age and remembered when the game came out and absolutely fell in love with this game and followed it online and followed the esports teams online, or have even the merch. Like, my sister has an Overwatch wallet and she brings that around everywhere. And she's had it since the game came out. We got a hat signed from the Boston Uprising team. We were huge fans of the game, the sport, and what it was. And I think if you really like Overwatch, please share this video, because I think that it will resonate with a lot of people. That's gonna be it for today, losers. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. All my socials are in the description if you want to check those out, as well as a Discord for the channel, and where you can share your favorite TikToks of McCree or whatever, whether it be Tracer or Winston. Yeah, thank you. See y'all losers in the next episode of Loserville. Ciao.